Have you ever heard that phrase, too good to be true?
Many times. Anytime I give them a simple explanation, they're saying, "Oh, that's too good to be true." It is. It's true. It may seem simple, but it is true. Look, what you think about most feelingly, you bring about. Doesn't that tell you that you're in control? That all you have to do is just step forward and claim it. You see, it's yours, but you still have to claim it. It's an inheritance, right?
It
And
is.
you have to show up that you have to show up to identify yourself and to get you to claim it. And that's what you're doing. You're stepping forward. You're claiming who you are, why you're here asking for something that isn't even in a question. It said what? That's all. What? What are you looking for? Because you see, the thing of it is that what you're thinking feelingly about is actually looking for you. You understand? In other words, what you're looking for is actually looking for you. So if you don't want to be found, then you better stop thinking about it because it works automatically. You understand? It's on automatic. As a matter of fact, it's all on automatic. I mean, really, when you think about it, because it says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So there, everything's on automatic. So you're in control, even if you're out of control. See, and that I keep saying that because a lot of people think they're in control, but they're not really. As a matter of fact, if you're not choosing what you're thinking, then you're not in control. You're being controlled by your environment or, well, by your environment, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you allow yourself to be lost in thought, understand you may not realize what you're thinking, but you're on all the time. So you're creating your world lost in thought. That doesn't really sound too wise to me because I can say that personally because I know how many times I got lost. You see, you get lost in thought, but you're still creative. Even lost in thought, you're being creative. In other words, it'll show up in your world of experiencing. You're always thinking ahead of the evidence that you're experiencing. So all you have to do is look at what you're experiencing, and that should tip you off to what you were thinking about prior, wouldn't it?
It would. It seems to me that most people haven't controlled this thing we call thinking.
Yeah. I know because I've been working on it for more than 40 years. It's very, very elusive because, see, the thing of it is we just allow ourselves to get distracted too often. And in that distraction, see, then you're not investing yourself, you're actually spending yourself. See, if you would invest that time in yourself, for yourself, looking for better than the best yet, it's right there with you. You see that? See, you have to understand that God is all life, and you do know you're alive. So you and He are one, just as Jesus said, "I and my Father are one, even as you and I are one." And then He tells you this. He says, "Hey, these things I do, you shall do also." Can you agree? Oh, what? I mean, these things. This is Jesus speaking. No, He says, "These things I do, you shall do also." And then He added, and even greater than Jesus, even greater than Jesus. Well, who is He talking about? He's talking about God Himself. Who else? See, It's all right where you are. You don't need to go anywhere if you'll just go in here. See, if you get in there and kind of organize your thinking, in other words, you're choosing what you're thinking, not the world or environment around you choosing for you. Because I can tell you, yeah, it has its moments, but that's all they are, fleeting moments. But you want relief. Everybody's looking for relief. It's with you, right here, right now. But you have to turn to it. See, you have to move in and think from it for it to be valid to you, because it's your say that's valid. And that's all we've been trying to tell them, right? That their say is a
Absolutely.
valid say.
Absolutely.
So watch what you're saying. And you'll be weighted on just as quickly if you're thinking positively as if you're thinking negatively. He gave you choose this day, and you can't choose any better. I mean, come on. If you can dream up all these monsters, you can also dream up nice things too, can't you?
Yeah.
You really?
Yeah. You said something, and I want to touch on it because I think that this is probably the missing key why most people are not manifesting what it is. We say it often, and you say it often. You said, move in and think from. Most people don't get the essence of what's being said there. You have to become thinking from the person that you're claiming that you want to be, correct?
You are person you want to be. You just haven't recognized it yet. It's been clouded over by all sorts of things that are really none of your business. So what I found when I did a little self-examination there is that I was paying attention to things that were actually none of my business, and being concerned about it, and think about, see, that's what happens. You think about things you really don't want to experience, but then when you experience it, you're going, well, why me? Why this? Why now? Why? And and it tells you very plainly that as you think, you are, you do, you have, you be. I mean, kind of spells it out for you, I think. But you can read over it just like you're reading the whole sentence or whatever, and it makes no effort to connect to you because you're not listening. You're not listening to you're just hearing someone read across it, and we so mess it. It's not even the Bible that you think you've been reading, because it's divine history. It's not secular history. Well, it's secular history, but that's part of it. But that's way back then. Everything you're saying now, it doesn't have anything to do with what's going on there, because that's going into your future. So you better be careful what you are thinking about. And when I say be careful, I mean be careful, because every every, every word, every word, come on, every word must be accounted for. So that means every word has a value in the whatever sentence it's in. Every one of them has a value, and it's what you should consider, because you're thinking ahead of your evidence, and you're going to see it in your evidence, and you're experiencing day in and day out until you change your mind, change your world. It's that simple. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what I was told. And he knew what he was talking about. But because I would just I would examine everything in the dust, you know, as, you hear a good idea, you know, how many good ideas did you have that you see out on the market now and you say, well, I thought of that. I thought that's all you did. You thought of it. See, that guy thought from it. And that's the difference that makes a difference. Yeah. See, here's the wonderful thing about this. You can test it for yourself. You don't need to take my word for it or DeCarlo's word for it. In fact, that's what we're here to do, is to get you to test it yourself. Because see, I can tell it to you. I can tell you what I experienced first person, but that doesn't make it for you. You have to experience it first person. But you can, see. I mean, look who told you to do so. God. I mean, talking about coming from right from the top, there it is. God, he told you, think on things lovely and of good report. How you smiling about it? Yeah, I get carried away now and then. Do I?
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, I know. It's just it just comes in waves. You see, and I try I grab as much of it as I can as it's coming through because see, I'm kind of slow and that's kind of fast. And I don't have any slow down button. So I sometimes I get an extra word in or something and boy do I hear about it. The thing is, you're in control, even if you're out of control. Does that make sense?
It does.
Tell me how that makes sense.
Well, the thing is, what we fail to recognize is that even when we're giving our control away, it's us giving our control away. So it's still our responsibility.
There's that word again, responsibility. You say that and people go, and I was one of those people. Yeah. I pulled the blanket up over my head and said, no, no, no. You know, the one thing you should really remember right up front is that what you're looking for is looking for you. Say it to yourself a few times. What you're looking for is also looking for you. All you have to do is relax. That's all you have to do. Be still. See, be still and know that I'm God. What's all the rest of it about if you do that? I had a half a dozen of Neville's tapes, and I listened to them at least one every night for years before it actually touched base. I began thinking differently. The importance of having a CD, because what has your focus has your life. Think about it. We're not asking you to join anything, but you have to have the CDs. You have to have the DVDs. You have to listen to them. It's you training this. Listen, listen, listen.
But as Mr. Lindell stated, you have to listen to them repeatedly. And again, for those who are interested, click the link below and it will take you to the 4 CD set and you'll be able to transform not only your mind, but your world.